Following our first bowl win as the Oregon State head coach, our team is on the rise. And with a winning 8-5 season under our belts, our gritty Beavs aim to climb to the top of the Pac-12 conference. But the road to success would be anything but easy for our Beaver team as we enter into a new year projected as a midfield Pac-12 team and kicking off a tough schedule versus the number 15 Eagles of Georgia Southern. Midway through the first quarter, 2nd and 2, here comes the Eagles as Herring scrambles into the end zone, 7 yards out, 7-0 Eagles. So trailing in the first quarter, 3rd and 4, Anderson connects to Anderson across the middle for a 19-yard catch, which will be capped off 2 plays later on the 2nd and 10 pass, 18-yard. Tied at 7, 11 seconds left in the first quarter, and Taylor on the counter picks up 11. And on our 4th and goal, caps off the 1-yard touchdown drive, 14-7 lead. But Herring would respond back here with a great read option play, 1st and goal. And then on 3rd and goal on the slant, finds Keith Parker to tie it up as 14. 3rd and 7 and a big spot here at the end of the first half as Curry is stopped by the Oregon State defense, and then to start the second half down by a field goal on the triple option pitch out to Mark Holland, we take back the lead. Fast forwarding to the 4th quarter, up by a score 21-17, a big play here for Anderson down for a first down, and then on this play Anderson would take the read option, pick up a block downfield for 18-yard scramble. And on a 3rd and 2, he continues to run out, but right here a bad pass. It is picked off by King, the linebacker, who would be stopped down, but fortunately our defense would get the stop, and John Palmer with a 23-yard reception and the touchdown following would seal the deal as we come back and win this one 28-24 in week 1. Now we're moving on to week 2 against the number 17 Falcons. They were a Final Four team last year in the college football playoff, and they open up with a touchdown here on the corner out to Paul Oliver, 19 yards out. But they would go to review, and it would be called incomplete. His foot was out of bounds, so it's a 2-0 deficit. No more as Ryan Mason, 34 yards, would give us the lead. But Anderson, with a mild concussion, would exit the game. Justin Stallings would come in for the remainder of this matchup as we get a big stop defensively, keeping a 10-8 lead. And right before the half, threading the needle to Mark Holland would make it a multi-possession lead heading to the locker room. Picking up in the second half, 2nd and 6, and Graham with that connection would make it for 3rd and goal as Daughtry with a juke back. So how would Stallings do? Second half in for the injured quarterback, Anderson, and he finds Palmer deep for a 53-yard touchdown, makes it now a 9-point lead. So into the 4th quarter, here we go with a 3rd and 15, defense needing to get the stop on this 4th and 4. A pass should have been picked, but it's caught by Bo Weiss and makes it a 2-point lead. So all we would need to do is convert here on the 3rd and 2, and Stallings with a 14-yard scramble, we would run the clock out with back-to-back top 25 upsets as we move into the top 20 as we get ready to take on number 10 Notre Dame at home. And on a 3rd and 10, Clifford here stuffed by the defense from the Beavs, and on this play here, the defense was just back and forth in the first half as Moses gets the interception from the returning Anderson from the concussion. As we move to the 2nd quarter, another interception, the 2nd one of the half, and this one would be taken back to the house. So trailing 7-0, we need to settle in, and there is our running back Robert Taylor with a big catch, and then once more on the 3rd and goal takes it from 13 out. We are tied up at 7. So in a defensive battle, it was 7 all into the locker room as we pick up second half, an interception, 2nd takeaway of the game for the Beaver defense. Fast forwarding 4th quarter, down by 3, and we finally get into the end zone. Mark Holland, 25 yards, we're up by 4, and the defense coming up big with a huge sack on the play as we now move to the 4th quarter with 1:20 left, and there's Notre Dame. DJ Andrews gives them the lead. So with under a minute remaining, a beautiful pass there off the sideline stops the clock. Another one here to Turner as he's able to break back outside and fight his way out of bounds, 1st and goal. And with seconds remaining, 2nd and goal, Robert Taylor off the pitch will take it inside, and we take a huge win here against the number 10 Fighting Irish. 3 straight ranked wins as we now move to number 11 to open up conference play against Utah. Battling in our beautiful orange here to 3rd and 11, nice conversion pass out to Palmer, and then on another 3rd and 11, we'll do it the other way. Under a minute remaining, the read option, and Utah will tie it up. Andrew Daniel, 4 yards out. Fast forwarding to the 2nd quarter, 3rd and 5, and here comes the Utah defense sacking Anderson for a loss, and on a 2nd and 19 here, it is intercepted by the corner Hall, 1st takeaway of the game. 7 all as we move to the 3rd quarter. And here is Daniel. He puts it on the field as Schmidt is able to pick up the fumble first takeaway of the game for the Beaver defense. And on a 2nd and 7 with 3 minutes remaining, the beautiful triple option, it is pitched out to Palmer. He would take it inside to the 16-yard line, and then a few plays later, 2nd and goal, there is John Sherman, 3 yards out, gives us the 14-10 lead. 1st and goal, we're up 4, but no more as Andrew Daniels scrambles in and gives the Utah team a 3-point lead. But with 24 seconds, a deep ball caught by Mason. He's caught on the sideline down at the 12, and then just a few plays later, 1st and goal, we're able to take it in to the no, stop short. But Taylor would take it in the next play and make it a 21-17 win. Anderson comes back from the concussion in a big way as we're now number 4 in the coaches poll. So our Oregon State Beavers have shocked the whole country. Coming into this matchup on the road, we need to continue as Holland gets the touchdown, make it a 7-0 lead as we take on this 4-1 Arizona State team. They're gritty. They bounce back with a touchdown of their own there to make it 7-0, but our Beaver defense continued to push the envelope, as did Arizona State. It was a defensive battle in the first half, and on the triple option, Anderson able to pitch out to Palmer. He would make it a 14-7 lead at the half. Second half, same score, 3rd and 13, make it a 2-score lead as we get the touchdown there to Ryan Mason, 21-7, and then make it a 28-7 lead to John Turner, 3 yards out, and the icing on the cake to John Palmer, 18 yards out, a 4-touchdown day for Anderson, as our Beavers now are the top team in the Pac-12 and move to number 3 in the country to take on a tough team here in Colorado as they open up with a touchdown on the pitch out to Darnell Davis as we trailing early in this first half, 14-0. We need to get something going. We find that with Robert Taylor, and then Magnum, the backup halfback, breaking some tackles into the end zone, puts the Oregon State Beavers on the board. But Colorado just continued to dial it up downfield. 21-7 is their lead, and they would make it a 3-score lead. Covington juking through our Beaver defense. We would be down now 31-10, but Anderson, late in the 3rd quarter, gets a scrambling touchdown. We're down by 14. And with this pass, we dial it through that secondary, now down by just 7. After that touchdown, now trailing by just 7, and we find our trusty receiver Holland as he puts us across midfield on a 26-yard catch, and then Anderson showing the wheels that he does have as he's able to get down out of bounds down inside the 20. And on this pass here, Turner down in, he gets the touchdown with just a minute remaining. We need the 2-point conversion to take the lead instead of opting for the PAT to tie it up, and we fail miserably as we drop this one. So after suffering our first loss on the season, we drop now to number 7 in the nation, trailing against Arizona, but no more as Ryan Mason makes it a 7-3 lead. But here comes Arizona and Kemp at the halfback position down inside the 5, and then the very next play later, Kemp down, he gets a 7-yard rushing touchdown, 10-7 deficit, but Anderson with a beautiful pass led over to Robert Taylor would give us a 14-10 lead, but they're going to take it back. His foot was out of bounds. It would be a 3-and-out, nothing to go for, and Arizona would cap off a touchdown drive here in the second half. We're trailing by 10, but Anderson would do his absolute best to get us back down the field and into this game. And on our 4th and goal, Robert Taylor will take it in from 1 yard. We're now trailing by just a field goal. We need a stop from the defense. We get a sack. No, he breaks out as Rogers finds Jackson, and that, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, would seal the deal. But wait, there is a penalty on the play, a holding call, and on the next play, a sack fumble. We take the ball away. We have a tremendous field position, and just a few plays later, we put it in and take the lead here late in the 4th quarter against this Arizona team as we're able to pull off a miraculous comeback and win that game, now number 4 in the country against Cal. On a 3rd and 12, a beautiful ball to Palmer, probably our number 1 receiver we have in this offense we've been keeping an eye on, and then Turner at tight end makes it a 7-0 lead. But here would come Cal. A pass, it's intercepted. The safety Davis takes it away, but he is caught quickly. 2nd takeaway of the day, and on the read option, Anderson able to juke out 3 Cal defenders and get down inside the 5, a 28-yard run, which will be capped off by Taylor, 2 yards out. We're up 14-0. Let's make it 21-0 just before the half to Dan Anderson, and on a deep ball, a mossed play, Mark Holland, 27 yards over the Cal defender to start this 4th quarter. Up by 11, Magnum would catch the ball and take it into the house. It was a massive win for our Oregon State team as we continue to show that we are a team in the Pac-12 to not be messed with. So here we go to take on the Huskies of Washington. Always a tough team for us to defeat as we pick up in the fourth quarter. We take the 28-21 lead, but there come the Huskies back to tie it up, and with seconds remaining, we would try to walk this thing off, but a yard or two short on the field goal, we would head to overtime. And in this game, it was overtime. After overtime, as we would trade touchdowns, we would trade two-point conversions, we would trade some field goals, and we would head all the way to a 7th overtime on this touchdown pass right there. But unfortunately for us, as we get right here on our 4th and goal, we would need to convert, and we do not. So the defense would have to get a stop and force a missed field goal to win this game, but the Huskies would come up clutch with a 70-67 win in 7 overtimes to upset the number 5 Beavers on their home field. So after our second Pac-12 loss, we're now 7-2 on the year, number 14 in the country. We're down, but no more as Anderson. Another touchdown ties the game up. But here comes Jason Hartman, 15 yards, they're up 7. 30 seconds remaining in the half, and a bad pass ends a drive that should have tied the game up as we are now trailing in the second half, but we get a touchdown to John Turner and a field goal here in the fourth quarter to take the 3-point lead. So up 3, the defense needs to get the stop, and on the 3rd and 9, we're able to stuff the defense there from the Cougars, and on the next punt return, Holland able to get us down to midfield, and on a 3rd and 10, there is Ryan Mason. A beautiful play. He jukes out the defense inside the 12, and on the triple option, Anderson would cap off the drive as we get the big win, bouncing back from a loss, moving to number 10 in the college football playoff rankings. So it's time to take on our arch rival, Oregon, the Ducks. And on this play, a must catch from Alex Rogers gives us the 6-0 lead after a missed PAT, but here would come the Ducks. Number 4 in the nation, just needing to beat us to make it to the college football playoff. We're hoping if we are able to pull off a big upset and win here on our home field that we would fight our way back into the top 8 for the college football playoff 18 playoff. But early on, it was back and forth. With a touchdown there to Dan Anderson, we take a 25-20 lead as we pick up to the fourth quarter. A minute 30 left. We need to get a stop, but here comes Little finding his target to the right. Scott, a missed tackle, and he would take it in and give them the 2-point lead. 2-point conversion later, we're trailing by 30 some odd seconds remaining. Scrambling out is Anderson. With 10 seconds remaining, a 3rd and 22, just trying to find something. We hit Turner, and with just 2 seconds, one last heave, we hit towards the sideline, but it is passed out of bounds. We drop this one in the Civil War matchup. Now take on our season finale against Stanford, and Stanford early on would lay it on us. 1st and goal. Here comes Reed, makes it a 2-possession deficit as we're now picking up in the second, trailing 17-0. A drop pass in the end zone, so it's a 4th and goal overthrown, and it's a turnover on downs. It was all Stanford in this one, trailing in the second half now 24-6. 1st and goal, we make it a closer deficit now with Holland now down by 11. Into the 3rd quarter, a big play. We get the sack. It pushes them out of field goal range, and on this next play into the end zone, Mark Holland would now make it a 3-point game. But here comes Mullins and Stanford. They get the 10-point lead again, and on this play, it is dropped. Unfortunately, we have back-to-back losses to end our regular season as we secure another bid in the Las Vegas Bowl against the Air Force. So we finish up number 5 in the Pac-12, and there you see who's in for the top 8 in the college football playoff as your semifinals of Clemson, Army, Alabama, and San Diego State. With your national championship would be Clemson versus San Diego State in a big matchup. But we got to look forward. Here we go. Our 2nd consecutive year in the Las Vegas Bowl against Air Force for the 2nd time in a season, and there is Graham as he gets it to make it a 23-8 lead as we pick up in the 4th quarter. We needed to get some mojo, get something going, and Robert Taylor would put it in the end zone, making a 9-point deficit. And on a 3rd and 9, our defense comes up. They jar the ball loose. It is a punt situation. On our 4th and 1, Anderson on the read option, able to break a tackle, pick up a block, and get across midfield down to the 33-yard line. And with 2:40 remaining in the game, 1st and goal. Anderson scrambling out. He finds his target, Parker, into the end zone. It would be a 1-point deficit. So now we pick up 30 seconds remaining in the game. We are down by 5. We need to cap off something here and get a miraculous touchdown in this game, but the clock would run. No timeouts. We didn't pick up that 1st down. One last play as we find Anderson. He would get the room he needs and take it into the end zone. A walk-off win for the Oregon State Beavers. We pull off a huge upset and win right there at the last possible second the time was running out. It will be a play that will be talked about and remembered in Oregon State history for the remainder of time, as the national champions were crowned with Clemson defeating San Diego State. So after finishing number 17 in the country with a number 35 recruiting class, we are looking ahead to the future for this program, looking for our first 10-win season and potentially our first Pac-12 championship and maybe even a college football playoff appearance.